Hello, welcome back to Chats with Nat. This will be web series number 2. I did a 10 episode web series a few months ago, and I was reached out to by a lot of people who asked me to do a second series. So thank you so much for reaching out to me. I'd love to just sit here and talk to y'all all day. So if you've already seen the first 10, then we're going to get into a little bit more advanced, I would say, topics. If you have been participating in some form of personal development, then just jump in wherever it fits for you. So today, one of the first things that I want to talk about in this series is prioritizing. I work with a lot of people, both in the business aspect and also in just personal development. And one of the greatest challenges that I see for people is that they lack prioritization. So in order to prioritize things, I think we have to take it a few steps back. To prioritize things, you first need to know where you're going. So if we're going to back it up a little bit, do you know what your goals are? Now for me, I have short-term goals like daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, and then I have a 1 year, a 2 year, a 3 year, and a 5 year plan. And I'm constantly checking my actions and my behavior to make sure that my actions and my behavior line up with what my end goals are. So am I doing things that are helping push me to where I want to go? Or are the things that I'm doing hindering me or holding me back, or at least just not helping me get where I want to go? So do you know where you want to go? Do you know what your goal is? Is it you want to make a certain amount of money? Is it that you want to get to a certain place in your job? Is it that you want to start a business? Is it that you want to have a better relationship with your family? Is it that you want to be a better parent, a better spouse? Like whatever it is for you, whatever a good goal is for you, set those goals. Now I set a lot of different goals. I have fitness goals. I have relationship goals, kind of, not in the traditional sense, I guess. But, relationship goals with my family, with my children, with my friends, with my business partners, and with my associates, with my clients. I want to have a certain kind of trust level and respect with them. So I have goals for my relationships. I have goals for my finances. I have goals for my business. I have goals for my spirituality. I have goals for my nutrition. So I break mine out into different categories of my life. And what I would recommend to you is think about the parts of your life that maybe you're not totally happy with, and think of, okay, if you're not happy with it, what would make you happy in that situation? Now, I'm by no means a relationship expert, so I don't talk a whole lot about that. But if you want to have a better relationship with your spouse or with your partner, what things are you unhappy with now, and how could you change them so that you will both be happy about them? If you're unhappy with a relationship with your children, what is it that you're unhappy with, and what can you do to change it? Too often we focus on all the things that are outside of our control. Don't focus on the things that you can't control. Just focus on the things that you can do to improve those situations. If it's that you want to make more money, how do you do that? Do you need to go back to school? Do you need to go, get some kind of certification? Do you just need to go, update your resume and stop getting your own way and letting fear hold you back, and start just applying yourself out there, and making relationships and networking? So whatever it is for you, figure out what parts of your life you can improve or that you want to change. And then B, you can start making those goals. Write them down, write them down, write them down. Don't just think them. Thinking them is nothing. You think things all day long. I know the things that go through my head. If I wrote down all the things that went through my head, you guys would think I was crazy. So write it down. When you write it down, you give it legitimacy. Put it up somewhere where you can see it. I keep my goals. I have erase boards, so I put them up there. Once I hit them, I change my goals. I make them bigger. I keep a journal. In my journal, I have my goals. I have little goal cards that I put on index cards, and I put them around my house. I have them in my phone. I have my goals everywhere, and that's what keeps me always mentally on point and on task and focused on the things that I'm trying to get done. If you just think it, it just flies in there, and then it flies back out. So write it down, write those tangible goals down. The other thing that's nice is when you achieve them, it's really nice to look back on them and see when you made that goal, and remember, what you were feeling when you wrote that down, and that you accomplished it and you achieved it. So figure out where you want to go. And then you need to start prioritizing things. Now, we live in a world that is full of distractions. I mean, you can't go anywhere or do anything without some kind of distraction out there, whether it's your TV, whether it's your music. Social media is a huge distraction for a lot of people. No offense, but there's a lot of you that live on social media like it is the end all be all. You wake up, that's the first thing you do. You go to bed, that's the last thing you do, and that's what you're doing all throughout the day. That time adds up. I mean, it really adds up, and those minutes that you lose, you don't get those back. Once that time is gone, it's gone. So monitor your time and make sure that you're not spending a ton of time on things that are distractions. TV is something that's really big for a lot of people. They lose a lot of time watching TV. I don't watch any TV. I've been TV free for a few years now, and I'm very happy about that choice. I certainly do not lose any sleep because I'm missing any of the programs that a lot of my Facebook friends are talking about. But here's what I do. I do read a lot of books, and because I'm reading a lot of books and not watching TV, I'm bettering myself and bettering my life, and as a result, my relationships are better, and my fitness is good. My nutrition's all right. That's pretty good. And my money's all right. That's pretty good too. So give up some things that are not going to help push you where you're trying to go. See, what a lot of people don't understand, and you might want to pause this, slow it down, get a piece of paper and a pen, is that in order to have long-term gains, so long-term gains, satisfaction, happiness, those long-term things, you have to make short-term sacrifices. In order to have long-term gains, you have to make short-term sacrifices. Most of you live your life the opposite way. You take short-term gains or things that make you feel good, and you would rather have those instead of long-term gains. But by taking those short-term gains and doing the things that make you feel good at the time, you're actually sacrificing your long-term gains. So, you decide, this weekend, I don't want to do any work this weekend. I don't want to, read a book this weekend. I don't want to work on my business this weekend. I don't want to build my dreams this weekend. I just want to go out this weekend. I just want to have fun this weekend. I just want to go turn up this weekend. That time that you lost, someone else was putting in work while you were out playing and taking care of yourself, or at least what you think feels good for the short term, but you're sacrificing the long term. Because someone like me, I don't take days off. I'm working all weekend long. So when you're out there playing, I'm excited about that, because that means that I am going to supersede you and I'm going to outachieve you, because you're not really making those short-term sacrifices to have the long-term gain. So you need to make sure that the things that you're doing are helping you out in the long term. There's a certain amount, in my opinion, of weakness that goes along with kind of selling out to what feels good right now, because you are going to lose what's going to be good for you later. For example, there's a lot of people that will keep people around in a romantic way, that they know for sure they're not going to be in a relationship with that person. That's not the right person to have in their life, but because it feels good to have someone around instead of being lonely, at least there's someone there, at least in their minds. But what you could be doing is you could really be missing out on an opportunity with someone that's much better for you, because you're too distracted by someone that's just around you because you don't like the feeling of loneliness. That happens with a lot of people. Also, just the time that you're spending with that person that's not right for you anyway is time that you could be investing in yourself and becoming a better person, and the kind of person that's going to attract the person that you want. You attract what you want in your life. So if you're not attracting the kind of partner that you think is going to be right for you in the long term, then you haven't become the right kind of person yet, and you need to work on you. If you're too busy, being snuggle buddied up with someone that is no good for you anyway, well, you're wasting time and you're hindering yourself from getting that in the long run. For people who push off their fitness and nutrition, they say, oh, tomorrow, oh, another day, oh, next month, next week, next year, I'll take care of it. Well, guess what? Tomorrow and next month and next week are gonna come here, and in a few years, you start having health problems, and now you're upset because you didn't prioritize your fitness and your nutrition a long time ago. And now, you're 35 years old, you've got diabetes, you're 35 years old, you've got high cholesterol, high blood pressure, you're overweight, you can't get around the way you used to. And now it's too late because you sacrificed the long term for the short term, for what felt good. Instead of pushing yourself and making yourself go to the gym, making yourself order a salad instead of a cheeseburger, and not even necessarily a salad. You don't have to eat rabbit food to eat healthy. You can have chicken, you can have fish, just don't fry it, or get that processed crap. But prioritize your health and your fitness, your financial situation. So many people are so impulsive and buying things that they don't need to impress people that they really don't like. I don't understand this at all, but I see people right now that are walking to the club because they don't have a car, in $300 shoes. What are you doing? Your priorities are messed up. Why do you feel like you need to be flashy and show off for people when you don't even have all your stuff lined up right? You've got to make those short-term sacrifices. So if you're not going to have the freshest pair of Jordans, then you're not going to have them. Or whatever the case may be, whatever it is that that you think is flashy or nice, if your money's not right yet, you really don't have any business buying that stuff. And you shouldn't be buying impulsively anyways. You should be saving. Again, saving doesn't feel as good as spending, and I understand that because I like to spend too. Don't get me wrong. I love to go shopping. But I put money in my savings account first. I put money in my investments first. I invest in my business first. Those things come first, and then I get everything taken care of. And if I have a little bit of money to play with, then I have some money to play with. But first and foremost, you should be putting money away for your future so that you can have those long-term benefits. But if you're not prioritizing your time because you don't know where you want to go in your life, because you really haven't put any thought into it, or because you're lacking the strength and the tenacity that it takes to make those short-term sacrifices so that you can gain in the long run, I think it's time to just re-look at your life and figure out where your priorities are messed up. Are there people and things in your life that you can get rid of that's going to help push you to the next level? I would challenge each and every person that there probably is, myself included. I have my own things that I have to work on every day, things that I have to get out of my life because they're wasting time. But I also hope that I challenge you to take a look at your life today and figure out what things can you move around to prioritize your future, because at the end of the day, your future is really what matters the most. Once today's gone, it's gone, and you don't get it back. So, live every day passionately and lovingly, and be in the present and be in the moment, but make sure that your decisions and your behavior and your actions are lining up to give you the future that you're going to want. So continue to create a life that you love to live. I'll be back next week. We'll think of something else we want to talk about to better your life. If you have things that you'd like me to talk about, please feel free to shoot me an inbox, and I will talk to you all soon. Have a lovely night.